Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of That's All Funny, episode number 580. We're doing it. Is the camera good? Yeah, I'm good. Jamie, nah, everything's good. Just here chilling, betting on more parlays. I lost one earlier because of the stupid Sacramento Kings, those fucking bastards. Whatever. Uh, New year, new me, right? I don't know. Whatever they fucking say. Um, yeah, I'm just been here chilling. I pretty much again slept all day. I'm a piece of shit. Mental illness is real. So we're here just doing it. I don't know. Got podcasts to record tomorrow with my buddy Gabe, wrestling podcast, playing some games, and then just chilling. Really, there's nothing else to do. I mean, I could do a lot more. I got schoolwork to do. I could be, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. Another day. Can you feel the brand new day? Did help my niece with her homework, so that's pretty cool. That's something to. Hey, I'm proud of myself. Pat on the back and all that shit, right? Let's look at news though, because there's a little bit of news that went down today. Where can I start? If this loads up. Oh yeah, here's the big news for today. Hold on. Let me Man sets himself on fire outside of courthouse where Trump is on trial. Yeah, this is pretty rowdy. So a man set himself on fire in a park across the street from the New York City courthouse where former President Donald Trump is on trial. The man, Maxwell Azzarello, was badly burned. Yeah. He's taken to the hospital where I believe he is now pronounced dead as of like an hour ago or something. But yeah, this comes off of the I don't know, comes off of the last guy that set himself on fire was like against the war on Palestine, and he was really like pro-Palestinian. And this one just didn't like Trump and set himself on fire. Um, it was pretty rowdy. There's videos of it on Twitter. Of course, I'm not going to show it here, but yeah, he's on fire. You don't realize how flammable a human being can be until they are like you see those videos of like those dudes in like special effects like movies where they're like where they're all on fire but they're wearing that protective shit. This dude was like on fire, and he eventually he got to the point where he was so melted he looked kind of like a ghoul from Fallout, which you can watch Fallout now on Amazon Prime. And he looked like a ghoul, and he was still on fire. And the people, of course, they fucking what's the word? Like surrounded him with rails so no one would like get hurt, because he's a fucking essentially a walking weapon. If you've played any sort of zombie game where they're on fire, fucking come and like elemental damage you and shit. So they, did that, and they waited till literally like the fire on him kind of like died down, and he started screaming near the point at the end because I'm pretty sure it's painful. I've never been through it. I've maybe burnt myself on the comal when I'm trying to flip a tortilla, but never to the point of spontaneous combustion. And yeah, so he finally, I think like a bomb squad or firemen came in there and sprayed him with fire extinguishers, but they didn't look like the kind that like are the cool ones that you see in wrestling rings or like the cold ones. It looked like the one that it's like a suppressant powder that basically fucks with your oxygen. It cuts off the oxygen to the fucking flame. So I'm pretty sure it fucked with that guy too. Like if he wasn't already burnt badly, he had a very bad taste in his mouth after getting sprayed with that. And then the clip you see, he's still like a little bit on fire after they spray him. So he's there trying to like hit his own crotch, like on Baby's Day Out and shit. And yeah, so not really sure why he did. I mean, there's videos of like why he did it. Like it was more like a against Trump and against election. It doesn't look like he was really into Hillary Clinton as well. But I mean, she's not hot, so I understand that. Uh, but yeah, he just didn't like Trump. Thought he'd set himself on fire to make a fucking Oh, you used what, paint thinner? Yeah, that looks like some sort of paint chemical. A no, never mind. It could be just a fuel canister. It does say fuel canister. Huh. In any event, um, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be the new TikTok trend of setting yourself on fire, or what do they call it? Self immolation, immolation, self immolation. I feel like setting yourself on fire sounds cooler, but whatever. We'll see what this does, because this was kind of like a big spectacle, and everyone was kind of just watching and filming. So you know, I don't know if people are going to keep doing this. I think this is better, though. And here I am playing like the other side of the point. This is better than the shootings and all that, and driving through protesters and shit. I mean, he's getting his point across, but it's more self-inflicted and contained. So, that's cool. You don't need to, write your transifesto or manifesto or whatever and go and kill innocents. You can just set yourself on fire and get the same point across. Cool. Thumbs up, buddy. Thumbs up from the Fallout guy. Uh, now playing on Amazon Prime. Speaking of the Trump trial, what is this? Trump Day 4? 5 big takeaways from Day 4 of Trump's hush money trial. And so, yeah, I guess it's on Day 4. I was reading on Twitter that some people were saying that were like present for the trial, that were saying that Trump was falling asleep and letting out like farts. And I could see that. I mean, being an older dude, of course, and then you're kind of like you're Trump, so you're busy, you're a little nervous, whatever. You're on the fucking orange, Agent Orange bullshit, right? Getting tans and whatnot. And of course, you're gonna be tired. You're bored in a fucking court setting. You're gonna let out some of those farts that you do when you sleep. But yeah, here's a weird list of jurors. They said alternate jurors sworn in, and it's just funny that they have a breakdown of the alternates. Alternate juror one, a female analyst for asset manager. Juror number two, female unemployed. Juror number three, male audio professional. Juror number four, female contract specialist. Juror number five, female creative operations for clothing company. Juror number six, female project manager for construction company. A lot of females, which doesn't go well for Trump because this is obviously about hush money he paid to Stormy Daniels for, busting an NDA or whatever the fuck for him, uh, her being a whore and him paying her for it. But um, I don't know. Maybe it'll work for his favor if there's like Republican type, especially females that are, like creative operations for clothing, creative operation construction company. If they're like females in a higher position like that, typically they are Republican because they like to keep their money and their taxes. So maybe it'll work for him. Who knows? Uh, but yeah, good luck to Trump. I hope he doesn't let out those embarrassing farts, and I hope they keep pushing out those artist drawings of him in the court because those are pretty cool. Those go hard. Like he could use it for his profile picture or something on Twitter when he comes back. Um, let's see here. Biden's new Title IX rules protect LGBTQ plus students, but avoid addressing transgender athletes. Now, I've been seeing this all over Twitter, and apparently, this a revised Title IX regulation. It was, I don't know, done by the former Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. Blah blah blah. So, for what I read in this article, and I just kind of skimmed over. No, I read it. I didn't skim over it. I read it. Read it. This Title IX thing makes it to where kids in schools can't be discriminated for their um gender or their, what do you call it, their sexual identity. I think that's what it said. Legit. Let me take a look. I don't want to misquote myself, even though I don't care about my information, right? Um, but yeah, they can't be, um, what's the word? What did I just say? Discriminated, right? They can't be discriminated in schools, and that's, I guess, schools, colleges, and all that against their sexual orientation or their gender or how they identify as. And the odd thing about this law is that it says you can't discriminate against that, right? Which is basically the argument of the LGBTQ. Like, nah, we want to be able to go into the opposite gender bathroom or whatever bathroom we declare ourselves as, or we want to be known by whatever sexual orientation or gender or title we pick, right? Okay, kind of get that, right? But this doesn't take into account um sports. That's something that is not being taken here. So what a lot of people are upset about this law, and Biden's the one who's signing it in because he doesn't want people discriminated against in schools. Love is love, all that stupid left woke bullshit, right? Which I get, love is love, but okay, there has to be like a line drawn because you have these schools that can't discriminate now against whatever gender or orientation you identify as. So when they come in and let's say a man, right, he applies for a woman's scholarship and he doesn't get it. Now he's going to say, "Well, you fucking are against me because I'm a man identifying as a woman and I didn't get this women's scholarship." And the same goes for athletes and everything on the opposite spectrum, if you want to go that way, right? Vice versa. But it basically works the ways like that. But I would think it would work as race too. Like if you can identify as whatever you want, you could literally identify as like a Chinese person and then end up being approved for Chinese fucking food and not being approved for Chinese scholarships or for immigrants. You know, like you can literally identify as anything, right? Because they're really not limiting what you can and can be, you know. You can be a furry now. There are even schools showing that like there are schools that are okay with people identifying as cats or identifying as furries or wearing their furry suits or only talking in meows and purrs and shit, right? Uh so that's where the controversy lies. Is like, okay, well, where do we draw the line? Because you're basically saying we have to let men qualify for women's scholarships or vice versa, or we'll be held in sort of a discriminatory sense, right? And then you go to like sports and all that, where um, women are going to lose a lot of things to men because men are just like better at sports, like what is it? Um, their body types, right? They can throw a shot put further. They can throw a javelin further. They're stronger. They can beat the shit out of a woman very easily in wrestling or fighting. I mean, of course, it depends on skill and stuff, but 9 times out of 10, a man will dominate a woman in a sport when they're, you know, like not as good, but still they can just win because of their biology, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of people angry about this. I would be upset about it if you know, I don't think this is gonna hold. This is gonna like fuck with Biden a lot. I think he's gonna shoot himself in the foot, but he's already shown. There was some thing he said about apparently his grandfather or something was in like a war and he got shot down and eaten by cannibals. He said this, and that's not true. Like there are logs in the White House that show he wasn't. He was just like killed or whatever in the line of duty. Uh, and people were asking like his press secretary, like, this isn't real, right? Why did Biden say that? And the press secretary was like, you just have to understand Biden cares about the people who are in that situation, and why do you say that for laughs? You're saying that for laughs. Uh, he still died and he's still upset about it and he still fucking empathizes with people who are at war, so you shouldn't say things like that. And it's like, okay, you completely dodged the question. Like Biden's just making shit up. He said his grandpa was killed by cannibals. You can't just say that shit and then be the president and then be okay with him saying making shit up because he just makes shit up now. He's been making shit up, right? I hope I'm not yelling into the mic too much, but anyways, we'll see how bad this goes, especially with again sports, because sports are a big deal. That's how a lot of people get scholarships. A lot of people get through school. A lot of women, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a man who identifies as a woman. Let me go play some shot put, some women's wrestling. Let me go into a woman's locker room and start recording everyone. The typical shit with a man with long hair looking like those fucking male Powerpuff Girls on the Powerpuff Girls cartoon. But whatever. We'll see how this goes. But speaking of uh sports and men and women, right? Lastly on here, backlash grows to Nike's sexist US women's Olympic uniform. And here's a quick picture if you're seeing it on the visual podcast. They look hot. I mean, there's even there's a black buff ass woman who looks like a woman, and then there's like even a wheelchair woman who's in a wheelchair. No, she's got legs. She's just not able to use them, presumably. Um, but they're showing these new Nike uniforms, and the men are for the USA, right, Olympic team, and the women's uniform looks like a woman's like one piece bathing suit, right? It looks like where it covers up your, vagina, but it shows like, the shaved regions, whatever. And the man shit just look like a man shit, right? Something just out of a runner's uniform. But everyone, well, not everyone. I don't know how many people, but a lot of women who are chiming in and are saying, "Well, my vagina is going to be hanging out, just right out of that uniform because it's so thin and it's sexist. Men must have fucking designed this thing." And so yeah, so they're showing those new uniforms and they're just saying that it looks like too much of a bikini bottom, and that it's sexist and this and that. But um I don't know, like it had to have been designed by a female. Like a female had to have worn it and said like, "Hey, nah, this feels good." Or it might have been just for, I don't know, an event that involves swimming. Like who knows? Like they're just unveiling it, and now everyone's like, "Oh, the vagina's gonna hang out." Dude, like relax. Jesus Christ, like Nike knows what they're doing, and suddenly you want to feel more like a woman, and then they put out a woman's uniform, and now you're like, "That's too sexist. A man must have designed it." And it's like, but you're saying men can be women. Like I don't understand. Why is everyone stepping on their own fucking toes with every argument that everybody fucking says? It doesn't make any sense, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Like, that's what we need. We need religion back. I know back when I was in Bible school, the 10 commandments, like a man was a man, a woman was a woman, right? That's all, that's all I fucking knew. I mean, yeah, I had a gay Uncle Eddie, but he was just there like by himself. He cut my hair every now and then. I didn't like the way he cut it, but that's the only way I knew. It was free, right? No, it wasn't free. He charged like $7. That was pretty cheap. That was in the 90s though. Inflation, I'm sure that's like $800 now, and 2,000 yen. If you want to fucking go with who actually owns the country, right? China, 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 China. I don't know. But yeah, what do y'all think of I don't know, sexist things and unsexist things and people setting themselves on fire to Trump? And I don't know, there's a lot of shit to unpack here. So, let me know whatever you care to know or think or in the comments or like, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. Really nothing matters when you just think of like the world and uh the sun's gonna eat us in fucking billions of years. So who really cares, right? Who really fucking cares? So fucking what? But I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. That's all funny. It's for the Funny World podcast available. Just search That's All Funny. A podcast with my buddy Gabe called That's All Kayfabe, where we talk about wrestling and stuff like that. If you like wrestling, check that out. Or if you just like long podcasts, check it out. That's all kayfabe. Anywhere podcasts are available. If you want to see video versions of that or this, you check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Lorenzo Ariola. I got videos of that, videos of me gaming, other random stuff. Do a live show with the wonderful mint salad called Tits and Areolas. We watch a movie. We don't watch it. We watch it or talk about it. Talk about a movie we watch, and then we play a game. That's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. You should check that out. You can see older episodes there on the YouTube channel. If you want to support the podcast, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Ariola. $5 a month gets you early episodes, bonus episodes, deleted episodes, stuff like that. And if you want to buy any merch for the podcast, just hit me up on @Lorenzo Ariola on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to commission some art from a great artist, check out @Retro Horror Inc. on Twitter and Instagram. He does all the art for the show. He's a Bret Hart of graphic art. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you, my Patreon members. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, and caring. Take care.